following program is brought to you with the financial assistance of these kind sponsors: the Charitable Irish Society of Halifax, Immigrant Support Program, Government of Ireland, Halifax Downtown Business Commission, and the City of Halifax. Welcome everybody to the 14th Annual Halifax St. Patrick's Day Parade. Just a reminder, the St. Patrick's Day Committee supports the Parker Street Food and Furniture Bank.
Hello, my name is Eric Reiner and I am the President of the Charitable Irish Society of Halifax. I welcome you warmly to a very enjoyable and different experience from what our normal St. Patrick's Day Parade is. I'd like to thank the St. Patrick's Day Parade Society for taking the initiative and having this wonderful Irish video produced. Hope you enjoy it. See you all next year in person at the Halifax St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And here's what the parade used to look like from past years. And with any St. Patrick's Day celebration, what could be more important than a few jokes? Here's Jimmy Flynn.
St. Patrick's Day. My people come from Ireland. I was in Ireland 2 years ago in Dublin, and they got a neat sense of humour there. I said to this gentleman, "Sir, can you tell me where the drugstore is at?" He said, "Yes, I can." He said, "Get down the corner, turn right. When you get to the next corner, turn right. When you get to the next corner, turn right. And when you get to the next corner, turn right again." I said, "If I did that, I'd be standing right here." He said, "That's what I'm trying to tell you. Drugstore's right across the street."
Like so many of our ancestors, they came by the boatload. They hit the Halifax docks running, and of course the rest is history. Here's a trio of young lads from the old sod who were so happy to arrive in the New World that they rejoice with a sea shanty.
All on the bowline, Nancy is me darling now. All on the bowling, all on the bowling, and Nancy comes from Liverpool. All on the bowling, all on the bowling. Now the old man, he's a growling now. All on the bowling, all on the bowling, and we don't know where we're sailing from. All on the bowling, all on the the bowling, it's a long ways to payday. All on the bowling, all on the bowling, it's a weary way to Liverpool. All on the bowling, all. Oh, they call me Hanging Johnny. Away, boys, away. But I never hang nobody. So hang, boys, hang. Well, except I hanged me granny. Away, boys, away. And then I hanged me family. So hang, boys, hang. Well, first I hanged me mother. Away, boys, away. Me sister and me brother. So hang, boys, hang. Well, it's seldom I hangs for money. Away, boys, away. 'Cause hanging's so bloody funny. So hang, boys, hang. Well, we'll hang and haul together. Away, boys, away. In clear or stormy weather. So hang, boys, hang.
Believe it or not, the first St. Patrick's Day parade in Halifax goes back to 1842. But like any good Irish event, it came about with a bit of a racket before it got started. Here's local Irish parade historian Robert Harvey.
The society at a meeting, it must have been the annual meeting in February as it was then, they passed a motion made by Michael Monaghan to parade or walk in procession on St. Patrick's Day. It must have been controversial because there was a motion immediately to defer to May, which of course would have missed St. Patrick's Day in March. Finally, the society held a special meeting in March and reversed their decision and decided to have the parade, which took place on St. Patrick's Day. And they marched to St. Mary's Church, which was the forerunner of St. Mary's Basilica today.
The Halifax St. Patrick's Day Parade went on for over 100 years, but after the Second World War, interest started to die off. However, it was almost like faith that the Halifax St. Patrick's Day Parade made a serious comeback in 2008, and the reason was because this beautiful church was under threat to be torn down.
There were about 40 of us in the first parade. There were young people. There were Frank and Elsie Flynn. They're both deceased now. They had a convertible. There was a big Irish mist when we started out. We had a banner, we had balloons, we had a drummer, and 40 people. And we were happy and we were singing. And we drove. First, when we came here, we got Frank and Elsie in their car set up. And then we walked and we took a right on Brunswick Street, walked up Brunswick. Then just before Hope Cottage, we took a left. We went up to Godicon Street. We got up on Godicon Street. We walked as far as Stadacona, and we stopped, and we were across the street from Northwood. And in the windows in Northwood, there were many, many people. And they had shamrocks, and they were clapping. So we sang a big song for them. It was snowing by that time. And then we left there, and we walked down Godicon Street. We went by Sunrise Manor and the other manor across the street. People, same thing. They were so happy that it was St. Patrick's Day, that there was a parade, humble parade, but we had a parade. And we walked down Godicon Street, we were singing, we were laughing, there were little kids, there were people in their 80s, and we walked down to Cogswell. Many Irish lived there at the turn of the century, and then we came back to Brunswick Street, to the rectory. We had a little party back there, lots of good beers, sandwiches, juice for the kids, and we were just happy that we got this started. one of the reasons that we revived the parade was the pride in being Irish and all the wonderful things that the Irish brought to the city of Halifax and to our church. If you go through this church, every stained glass window was specifically designed for St. Patrick's Church on Brunswick Street. It has pockets of little shamrocks in it. On the aisles of the pews, there's Irish harps. The side of the pew is designed like an Irish harp. Everywhere you look, if you look up, you can see shamrocks. And they're a symbol of peace and love and joy and happiness and part of being Irish. So the parade really, I believe, we kick-started in the city of Halifax again, a pride in being Irish.
Hey folks, it's Mayor Mike Savage here at Grand Parade City Hall, and here to talk about St. Patrick's Day. Now, I am a son of Belfast, born in Belfast, and proud of my Irish heritage, as so many people in Halifax are, but you don't have to be Irish to love St. Patrick's Day, and we all know what a special day St. Patrick's usually is. And I have been the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade for a number of years, and I get to drive along the waterfront with Brian Doherty in the car with me and lots of people. This year we're doing a special thing because of COVID. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to wish everybody a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy it safely. Happy St. Paddy's.
Díogh a cárde, agus banachtaí lá le pádraig. That's Irish for hello friends and happy St. Patrick's Day. My name is Ronan Holland. I am president of Uncommon, the Irish Association of Nova Scotia. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the founding of Uncommon. For a list of all our St. Patrick's Day activities, including our Céilí, please visit uncommon.org, or you can reach us on Facebook and Twitter. Our association promotes Irish language and culture in Nova Scotia. Hopefully we will see you all in person at St. Patrick's Day Parade next year.
I got stopped by the police last week. The police come over, I rolled down the window. He said, "Sir, do you have any idea why I pulled you over?" I said, "Officer, if you can't remember, I'm not telling you."
Díomh Galera Cordia, hello to everybody in Halifax. One of the disappointments of being an ambassador in COVID time is not being able to travel. And I'm really keen to get over to Nova Scotia to savour the Irish culture, the beautiful scenery, and to meet all of you. And hopefully that'll happen pretty soon. I'd like to thank Brian Doherty, our Honorary Consul there, for the opportunity to say hi. And I want to thank him not only for his work as Honorary Consul, but for his ambassadorship of Irish culture and all things Irish in Nova Scotia. He does great work and we're very appreciative of him. I'd also like to thank the Charitable Irish Society for reviving the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I'd like to acknowledge Immigrant Support Programme funding for the St. Patrick's Day Society. And it's great to see that tradition alive and well in a place that is really a kind of an Ireland away from Ireland, an island away from our own home island. So for this year, we just have to meet like this. Hopefully for next year, we can get together and celebrate St. Patrick's Day the way we really want to. Banachtaí lá féile Pádraic, to everyone, Slán agus Banat, take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Díomh is Misha Orla. Myself, Sean and Tatsu are going to do a song now called Fui Shiva Yotza. It's based on a poem written by Martin O'Gearon and put to music by Zoe Conway and John McIntyre. We're going to follow that with a reel called The Limerick Glasses. Banagi Tatnavas. Shiva Yotza Shalba Garage Emask Mohini Erilon Mara Ekshul Kosh Kladi Majin Estranona Olut Gosare Shiva Yotza Shalba Garage Emas Mohini O Rokri O Chagana O Ignas Duhak O Chaint Kantach Irek Balya.
My brother come over the other day for dinner, and we're having their dinner. He said, I swallowed a chicken bone. I said, are you choking? He said, no, I'm serious.
When the Irish started coming by the droves to Halifax in the late 1800s, their largest numbers tended to hang with their own in mainly the north end of the city. And it was then that they decided they needed their own church to worship. Here's St. Patrick's Church historian Blair Bede.
They were in the north suburb. They had to pass through an area known as Knock'em Hill, which had brothels and taverns, and it wasn't considered nice for families to go through there, especially in bad weather. Seems funny now to think it was a great distance. So instead of going to St. Mary's, they started to have service and mass in the barn up on Gotigan Street. And from there, it grew enough people, they rented a church, bought a church, and here they are.
And how did they contribute to get it activated, to get it where we are even today?
Well, at first it was the guy lent them a barn, and then they rented the church and gathered enough money they could finally buy it. They went in debt, and they just kept giving as best they could. And then when they built this church, a lot of them donated their labor and worked every so many days in order to make it happen.
When the financial campaign to save St. Patrick's Church got in full swing back in 2007, good old St. Patrick was literally ready to lend a hand, so to speak.
The current condition of the church needs restoration, so they came up with the idea to establish a society that would raise the money, and they needed a slogan, and it came kind of naturally because at one time they used to cover statues in purple at Lent, and an anxious altar boy maybe pulled the cloth off too hard, and off went St. Patrick's right hand and his shamrock, and they never had a hand to put back on. They didn't want to bury him. The ladies of the church said, no, you're not going to bury a damaged statue. We're keeping him. And they simply turned it so you can't see the hand unless you go looking.
So as we look at St. Patrick right now, he has his hand behind the altar.
He's behind the altar because there's no hand there. And our campaign was give St. Patrick a hand so that at the end of successful restoration of the building, we'd also restore a hand to him.
My name is Tim Campbell and I'm the director of the St. Patrick's Centre here in Downpatrick, Northern Ireland. We're 2 hours north of Dublin and about 30 minutes south of Belfast, and I'm here to wish everybody in Halifax, Nova Scotia, with Brian there, a very happy St. Patrick's Day. It's a virtual one this year, and of course, being here in Downpatrick, the home of St. Patrick, we're going to celebrate it virtually with you. We are standing in front of the St. Patrick's Centre, the only permanent exhibition in the world about St. Patrick. And behind that is the grave of St. Patrick himself at the medieval Cathedral of Down, where he's buried with St. Bridget and St. Columkill. We wish you a very happy St. Patrick's Day. We hope that this new year is going to be a better one for everyone. The spring sunshine is out, and hopefully we'll be able to see you when it's safe to do so.
I'd like to share with you a verse of a poem written by Arthur O'Shaughnessy. He was of Irish descent, and the poem is called Ode, and it's a hopeful and uplifting poem dedicated to the artists who have lived in fantasy and built worlds outside the mundane world, and we need a lot of that today. It says, "We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams, yet We are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems.
The Irish are known for putting up a good scoff. Here's Cheryl Doherty giving us the goods on making Irish soda bread.
Hi there, my name is Cheryl Doherty and I'm the co-owner of the Old Triangle Irish Ale House. I'd like to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day and hope everyone is managing to celebrate in a safe and fun and responsible manner. Today we are going to make our very famous wheaten soda bread. Soda breads are a great Irish tradition because they can be cooked, if necessary, on a stovetop, although the oven is a preferred method. They don't involve yeast or rising or waiting, so if you have unexpected company, you can whip this up in less than an hour. I believe after this we're going to have the recipe posted as well on the website, so you'll be able to make this at home at your leisure. We've done a little bit of the background work already here for this. So we're going to start with 2 cups of flour, white flour, and 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Just use a regular all-purpose flour. You don't need a made-for-bread flour because unlike a yeast bread, we don't want to develop the gluten in this bread. You can add wheat bran, which adds a nice little bit of a texture to it. You can add some oats. You can add a bit of flaxseed. We usually grind ours up because if you put whole flaxseed in, it gets caught in your teeth and nobody likes that. So you can add a little bit of that, adds a little bit of a healthier element to it. This particular blend has 2 cups of white flour, 2 cups of whole wheat flour, and a ½ cup of oat bran. All right, so to this, we are going to add some baking soda, teaspoon, a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add a teaspoon of cream of tartar. So you're just going to kind of mix that together so it's well blended. You're going to love this. It's one of the easiest breads in the world to make. To this, we're going to add 2 ounces of butter, kind of cut into chunks. And if any of you ever make pie crusts or pastry, you'll understand this process. So what we're going to do is just cut that butter into our mixture. So you want this to get to consistency a bit like kind of a cornmeal. I'm a gardener and I like to play in mud. I like to play in dough too. So it's just nice. So you just want kind of a crunchy meal sort of a look to that. Now to that, we are going to add 2 cups of buttermilk. One of the big secrets to soda bread is not to overmix. Unlike a yeast bread, which you want to beat the tar out of, a soda bread will get very tough if you overmix it. So what you want to do is mix it just enough that it's not really sticking to your fingers and that everything is incorporated. I always keep a little bit of flour on the side because it gets a little bit sticky and messy. So just a very soft, you're going to find this is the softest dough you'll ever work with. It's just, you'd quite enjoy it, I think. So you can see now it's kind of coming together very, very nice. There's a bit of kind of flaky look to it. So now we have a nice soft dough. See, it's not even really totally staying together, but that's okay. The butter in there is all going to melt when we put it in the pan and put it in the oven. Ready to go. A little bit flaky, not too tough, not sticking together too much. You want it just barely mixed. Just spread it into the pan, into a delicate shape. It's kind of a tradition in Ireland to cut a cross into the top of it. I like to do that because it helps you figure out if it's cooked in the middle, because undercooked soda bread is really sour in the middle because of the buttermilk, so you want to make sure that that's totally cooked. You're going to throw this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 45-50 minutes, and stick a toothpick in it, make sure the center's cooked. It'll feel kind of tough on the outside or kind of crusty on the outside. And now we're going to go throw this in the oven. And through the magic of the camera, our bread is ready. Take it out, set it to cool. You'll find it's crunchy on the outside. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It's scrumptious. There you go. A perfectly executed piece of soda bread. Lovely with some butter, lovely with some jam and clotted cream, beautiful with some smoked salmon, some sour cream. Personally, I'm Canadian. I really like it with peanut butter. Thank you very much, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Fella goes to see the dentist. He said to the dentist, I think I'm a moth. He said, you think you're a moth? He said, why would you come and see me? You used to see a psychiatrist or psychologist. Why would you come and see me? I'm a dentist. And Buddy said, your light was on.
The financial campaign to maintain St. Patrick's Church continues to this day, and so does another Irish project in the city of Halifax. It's estimated that 24,000 mostly Irish souls are buried at Holy Cross Cemetery, located at South Park and South Streets. In 2005, the cemetery was in very poor shape, not like it is today, and that thanks goes to the late Dr. Cyril Byrne, professor of St. Mary's University's Irish Studies. Cyril took to some arm twisting first in recruiting Dr. Brian O'Brien to seek help from the Halifax Irish community.
I was about to retire, and I figured I would retire and have fun working in the garden and sailing. And he said, I have a job for you. I said, I don't need a job. And he said, well, I'm going to give you one. I said, well, okay, I'll listen to you anyway. And he said, well, there's a cemetery halfway between the infirmary and the VG where you work. And he says, you drive by there every day. I said, I know the cemetery because my mother told me that we have relatives in there. And he said, well, the stones need to be documented. They've been destroyed by vandals, and they've been worked on by the environment. We got the volunteers through Father Mellon, and this is going to be our 14th year. So what we've done, we've refurbished the chapel. You can see the chapel behind me. We've put new windows in the chapel. We've had help from the city of Halifax and from the province. There are people of all walks of life buried here. There are even a few pirates who were tried and condemned, and they're buried here. There are many clergy buried here. We have Bishop's Row, 7 archbishops and 1 bishop. We've got the founder of St. Mary's University buried here. And we've had the first Catholic Prime Minister of Canada buried here. We've got one of the founders of the Royal Bank buried here. And we've had many common Irish people who worked in the shipyards.
Our Lady of Sorrows Chapel within Holy Cross Cemetery was built by nearly 2,000 Irish volunteers in one day. Rumor has it they thought they were building a pub.
I'd like to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, and I'd like to read to you my favorite Irish Celtic blessing. Deep peace of the running water to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. And deep peace of the light of the world to you.
A little song inviting you all over to Ireland at your own expense. It's called Come by the Hills. Come by the hills to the land where fancy is free, and stand where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea, where the rivers run clear and the bracken is gold in the sun, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. And come by the hills to the land where life is a song, and sing while the birds fill the air with their joy all day long, where the trees sway in time and even the wind sings in tune, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to the land where legend remains, where glories of old fill the heart and may yet come again, where the past has been lost and the future is still to be won, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to the land where fancy is free, and stand where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea, where the rivers the bracken is gold in the sun, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done.
Thank you, everyone, and see you next year at our St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Halifax. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I'm Jerry Whalen.